Good morning, everyone. The paper ID is 85, and I'm really thankful to the International Conference on Data Science, Machine Learning, and Applications for giving this opportunity and accepting our paper. The paper title is Porting Ensemble Learning Technique with Improved Accuracy for the CAD Diagnosis. Since I'm the presenter, my name is M. Geeta Pratyusha, and the co-author of this paper is Dr. Arun Kumar Sinha sir. So this is the title of the paper, and these are the outlines that I'll be going on further. So now we are moving to the introduction. Coronary artery disease (CAD) is the highest mortality rate based disease uh, in the world, and it affects both male and female. And according to the World Health Organization (WHO), 17.9 million deaths happen every year. So this is because CAD is a very progressive disease, and early diagnosis of the CAD is very difficult. And what happens with the CAD is like there will be a cholesterol plaque that happens around the arteries, so inside the arteries. So when the plaque get thickens over the arteries and the blood flow gets very narrow and thins over that passage, so that is the main reason why cardiac arrest happens. So early diagnosis is very difficult. So that the researchers nowadays are working on the CAD diagnosis and trying to develop some kind of medical computer aided medical systems. So in the motivation, since I have said that CAD is a progressive and life threatening, and even though there were tests over it, such as non-invasive test is an electrocardiography, but there is a kind of limitation due to its low sensitivity. It will be facing a issue determining the abnormal heart rhythm. So further they will move on to the costly medical procedures such as echo and angiography. These are very costly medical procedures, and also they give a false alarms over here. So due to that reason, there will be a temporary physical damage to the heart. So that is the main reason why we are motivated that to provide a cost efficient and high accurate CAD diagnosis system with the categorical disease. That is our main motivation. So the objective of this paper is that since the individual machine learning can be trained in a very proper way and get a good score, but to make it more stronger even than that, we will be considering some ML algorithms together, considering them as a weak classifiers and then applying a meta classifier, making it as a strong classifier. So that process is said to be voting ensemble learning techniques. So here we have two, soft voting and hard voting. We'll be understanding how the voting ensemble techniques will be carried on for diagnosing the CAD disease. For that, we'll be using five basic base ML models over here. That is random forest, extra-tree classifier, extreme gradient boosting decision tree, and the gradient boosting machine. So these are the literature surveys over here. Here you can see that the data sets over we consist of 303, 303. That is like the UCA repository is an open source repository. So in that repository, the 303 patient instances of Statlog, Cleveland, and the Hungary data sets have been available. Framingham, we can say that. So Framingham is the last data set, but the 303 patient instances data sets are available as an open source. So in the entire literature survey, the Gesimi of the other 7 has scored highest with the 99.67, but this dataset is not an open source dataset. So it is from the Shahid Raja Hospital, collected personally. So he has scored 99.67 of the percentage of accuracy. In this also he had 18 features, but in that 18 features, so the feature selection has been going on, and there we got that some change in the dataset dragged into 99.67 percentage, and later on M. Akbar, the other 5, has scored 98.6 with the new nested ensemble support vector machine with the 303 patient of dataset. So when the dataset is small, the dataset accuracies have been shown over here. So this is the entire literacy survey. So here you can look into it. So now we go into the methodology. Here we are using two data sets, which is from the IEEE data port and the Framingham. So then after we'll move on to the exploratory data analysis, and the data pre-processing will be carried out, and we'll identify some of the certain features that are required and that are very good in the both data sets. So later on we'll be splitting the data set into test and train splits, and we'll be taking 5 ratios over here. Why the 5 ratios have been taken is because the accuracy definitely, when the small change in the the data set affects the accuracy. So due to that reason, we will be understanding how the ratio of being a test and split patterns carried out over here. So after that, we'll be performing the voting ensemble techniques with the soft voting and hard voting with the help of 5 base ML classifiers. So the highest accuracy based classifier will be treated as a best classifier over in this methodology. Now we'll go into the dataset pre-processing, dataset and the pre-processing. So the dataset is one is taken from the IEEE data port, and the dataset is two is taken from the Framingham. The dataset one consists of 1,190 instances with 12 features. In that, 11 features are taken as an input and one is taken as a target. So whether the patient is having CAD or not. In the same way, the Framingham has 4,240 data set instances, where in that 16 features are being there. So in that, 15 features are taken as an inputs and one feature is taken as an target over here. So since in the dataset one, 561 data instances, that is the patients are without CAD, so they are healthy, and 629 patients data instances are with CAD. So it is a slightly imbalanced data, but it is fine for modeling. But in the data set 2, we can see a huge imbalanceness over this data. So where you can see that 3,179 patient data instances are without CAD, so they were healthy, and only 572 patients are with CAD. So this is a very high imbalances over the data. So with the help of SMOTE technique, so which is synthetic minority oversampling technique, with that help of the technique, we have balanced the data. So here 2,607 patient instances are being added to the CAD side, so that it gets balanced. So since the both are balanced data sets, we will be further proceeding towards the expertly data analysis and the data pre-processing. Expertly data analysis is nothing like a visualization over the data, how the features are being affected with the target. So all those things will be wandering all around the expertly data analysis, and we'll be visualizing the data. And in the data pre-processing, we will be going on with the treating with the missing values. So mean will be used to replace the missing values, and then after the outliers, which are the outbound values, that will be resolving with the help of min max standardization technique, standard scalar technique. So we can say in that way. So after the data pre-processing gets completed, now we'll be identifying the prior features. Further, we are using 6 techniques, because since we are going with the voting approach, we are taking a 6 techniques, because these 6 techniques have a different kind of metric performance over here. So here we can say that the chi-square which we have been used has a element of the symmetrical uncertainty over here. So that has a metric over here. On the basis of that, it selects the features. The Pearson correlation coefficient is based on the correlation factor. It try to understand basis of the features and features. So on that way, the correlation is being taken out, and the recursive feature elimination and LR has an element of the dimensionality reduction. So on the basis of the dimensionality reduction, the features are being affected. So those features are being chosen out, and we can see here the RF random forest and the LGBM are the tree-based model. So information, they have the capability of taking large contextual data set variables over here. So the information gain is being playing an important role in the metric. So after the features have been identified, now we'll be splitting the data as per the splits of ratios that we have shown. So here in the voting ensemble technique, after we'll be training this 5 basic individual base classifiers with a tenfold cross validation, with we will observe the accuracies for all of this. So the highest accuracy which is being scored will be given a highest weight over for the meta classifier. So because when you are using soft voting and hard voting, so the voting technique, whether it could be soft or hard, we have to use the weights over here. So that weights of particular each and every classifier will be considering with the accuracy, and the what happens is that after in the meta classifier, out of this entire 5 base classifiers, on the basis of the probability based prediction, the accuracy is being dragged out for the soft voting, and for the hard voting, on the basis of the aggregation of the majority votes, the final prediction is being dragged out for the hard voting. So on that, based on that, the soft and hard voting is being modeled. So here you can look it out that, so the figure shows the flowchart over here, and now we'll be going with the performance metrics. Here we'll be using the confusion metrics that visualize the positive and actual positive and negative predicted results. So on the basis of that, accuracy, sensitivity, specificity, precision, F1 score, and the binary cross entropy is being carried out, and the results have been taken out. So the simulation is being carried out on the Jupyter Notebook and on the Python programming language. The entire simulation is being carried out. Here you can see for the dataset 1 and 2, every performance metric is calculated for every split here. So out of here you can observe that the SV and HV, so 90-10 we have got 98.31 and 90.09 for the SV, and for the HV we got 96.61 of accuracy for the dataset 1 and 88.52 for the dataset 2. Since we can understand that for the 90-10 split, the soft voting is highest, as well as we can see for all other splits also the soft voting has scored highest than the hard voting. So here in the summary we can look into it that for every split, the soft voting is scored highest for the dataset 1 and 2. And due to that reason, we'll be now understanding uh, how the fall percentage has been going on, because in every split, sudden drop will be going on that. Further, we have to understand what are the suitable splits to be considered in the real time. So here you can see that for every split, the 1.14 and 0.09 is the drop that been least of all those other splits. So out of 70, 30 and 80, 20, those are the most suitable splits that can be used in the real time if they want. So but the actual accuracy has been scored over 90 and 10, you can see over here. From the conclusion, we can observe that after applying the soft voting and the hard voting, we can observe that the soft voting has scored highest than the hard voting, and with a 98.31% of accuracy for the dataset 1 and 90.09% of accuracy with the dataset 2, it has scored highest. And after observing the fall split pattern difference over here of accuracy, 70, 30 and 80, 20 splits are having a good suitable split that we can identify over here. But even though I have to say that, even though we are using the ensembled bagging boosting techniques as a base classifiers, but there will be a certain issue with the overfit. So due to that reason, we have to use the optimization methods in the future to reduce the overfit problem. So this is the entire conclusion in the future scope, and these are the references for it. Thank you so much for giving this opportunity.